So we're here today in Beaverton, Oregon at Leupold and Stevens, taking a look at one of the most iconic rifle scope lines ever created right here on American soil. So let's go inside and see what it took to culminate to today's pinnacle product for Leupold.
Leupold and Stevens is the premium optic manufacturer in the United States. I mean, we are really proud. It's a family-owned business. We're in our 5th generation of family ownership, and we really focus on, making the best performance optics in the world. We have a number of challenges, but probably the biggest is, we're an American company and we want to make our products here in Beaverton, Oregon. We have 750 employees. We work really hard every day manufacturing rifle scopes, and it's a challenge when our competitors are doing stuff overseas in Asia and places that don't have, the same costs that we deal with. And so we know we have to win on quality. And I think that's the biggest challenge. And the biggest challenge is stepping that up every day, because we have to make sure that we're constantly giving the consumer a better product and constantly looking at how do we get better. And so that's the constant challenge of what we're about. We don't care about being the biggest, we care about being the best. And that comes with a lot of responsibility.
So what makes us different? Honestly, we're the only ones that do what we do here. Being as vertically integrated from design all the way down to proto cell type parts and building that up all the way through to full production. We do that right here in this factory, and it shows. The level of expertise that we get from employees that have touched every component of that process and that product from beginning to end, it just keeps rolling and rolling and rolling, and we just keep accumulating, more and more kind of know-how, and it just, no one does what we do.
The Gold Ring product line is VX Freedom, VX3 HD, VX5 HD, and VX6 HD, now Gen 2. Those are the products I manage today. We have the best durability with our tests. We do competitive testing. We find that the Punisher really sorts the wheat from the chaff. We really find what works and what doesn't. We don't ship it if the design doesn't pass that test. So there's impact tests, there's precision of the adjustments, again, has been a tremendous focus for us in the last few decades. And optical clarity. We have a really outstanding optical engineering team, and we're producing optical designs that are just unbelievable these days. You'll all know for years, everything was a 3-to-1 zoom ratio, right? And now we have, 6-to-1 zoom ratio. That's high power, 6 times as high as low. That gives so much versatility. Again, that's where you kind of narrow the product line down. You don't need to have as many scopes to cover the applications because you have such a great zoom range.
The fact that we are an American manufacturer, I see as an incredible asset. The engineers that design our products, they sit within walking distance of the machinists that machine the parts, the assemblers that assemble the product. We don't build in large batches. We get quality feedback immediately from the floor back to our engineering teams. And I see that as a really key competitive advantage, and that we will continue to leverage as an American manufacturer. I mean, we can just do things more quickly than any of our competitors. We have obviously some history with the VX6 Gen 1, and so we lean on that history to see how we can improve not only the designs of our processes to ensure better performance in the product, more consistent quality in the product. A lot of it is driven by the types of rates and volumes that we're trying to achieve, and that's how we set up our assembly lines. We obviously create the work instructions, our training programs to get the teams up to speed. Depending on kind of the extent of the change, we may do some significant technology development projects to help ensure that we have capable and repeatable processes to achieve the product. So it really just comes down to kind of the degree of change and how much we're pushing the boundaries of what we already do.
We stay focused on our strategy. We stay focused on our consumer, which is core hunters and shooters. We're not trying to sell things to other people. That's who we focus on every single day. And I think it's worked.
Hey, we're out here in Beaverton, Oregon at Leupold and Stevens to take an inside look at this family-owned company and some of the new products that are coming in 2025. And one of those is the brand new VX6 HD Gen 2.
The VX6 is an incredible product line. I mean, I shot the biggest bull of my life last year using the VX6. It's phenomenal. building on that, obviously is a challenge, but I think the team knocked it out of the park. I mean, it's got competition grade adjustments. The speed set dial is awesome. Now you could reset your zero without needing any tools in the field. The industrial design is super cool. It's got an asymmetrical turret, so not only does it look cool, it also has increased the overall travel on the product. It comes with a Mark V throw lever. It's taken something that was already great and making it that much better.
The most important differences are we prioritize low weight compactness for hunting scopes over things like adjustment travel. So, for example, the new VX6 HD Gen 2 does have more travel. It has 10% more than Gen 1 had, and a pretty generous amount that well covers hunting distances. But you contrast that with a Mark V HD, it's going to have a tremendous amount of additional travel to support shooting to people shooting 2 miles, with a sloped base, and so they need lots and lots of travel. Those big adjustments and the room to make a scope with lots of travel comes along with a little more weight and bulk. So generally the hunting scopes are more compact.
We start with a very focused design intent. Who are we trying to make this for, or what are we trying to make it for? And so I'll split kind of between hunting and shooting. We put gold rings on our hunting scopes. We put black rings on our tactical or more shooting type scopes. And what you'll see there is for the hunter, we're focused on lightweight, slim designs, enough adjustment travel for moderate length shots, but we don't want everything to be oversized. Oversized can add cost, it adds weight, and a number of things that you may not want when you're carrying the rifle more than you're shooting it. Shooters, on the other hand, go to a PRS match, an NRL hunter match, they're shooting it as much or more than they're carrying it. They need to shoot to farther distances. They need bigger controls, larger main tubes for more travel. And so really starting with what is the end use case and what are we designing it for, that's how we'll go about making the new product. Now, however people want to use it, right? You can absolutely use a black ring scope for hunting and a gold ring scope for shooting, but we want to take a very focused approach so that we stay within the confines of a very specific and focused design intent, and then we'll let consumers choose how they use that.
I'm excited for the VX6 HD Gen 2 because mainly for that CDS speed set zero lock, toolless re-zero, having the ability to take the turret off there without any Allen wrenches and mess with that. I get a lot of questions about servicing the products over in different markets, and they're always asking, do you have the spare Allen wrenches? And with the new VX6 HD Gen 2, to have that toolless re-zero and be able to pop and swap out a CDS style with no tool is going to be tremendous.
When it's on and in place, it is locked firmly in place so that you can either re-zero easily in the field if you go to a new location. You can change to a different CDS dial if your terrain or your environmentals change. More adjustment travel, like I mentioned, with the main tube, and then a throw lever, an integrated throw lever that will allow you to change power rapidly. All of this, when you look at it together, coupled with competition grade adjustments, it just makes it so you can use every feature on that scope quickly and repeatedly for every single shot. You can trust it inside and out.
We always look at our optical system to make it better. And is it working in low light? Is it managing glare? And we get to go out to our range in Madras, Oregon and compare it to other scopes. And I won't talk about specifics, but I'm going to tell you right now, in low light, no one touches us. So you're going to always get, every hunter knows that first 15 minutes and that last 15 minutes are so critical. And I can't tell you how many times I've heard from people like, hey, my buddy had this, this brand, and he couldn't see, but I could still hunt, and it was still legal light. We talk about generational value, not creating value for the next quarter or the next month. We care about that, and we always want to do better every day. But when you're in my position and you have the ability to know that you can invest long term and that you can do things that, frankly, it may take 4, 5, 6, 7 years to pay off, that you can do it. And you can make great investments so that you can create generational value for shareholders to come, and more importantly, for our customers in the future. And we're doing that every single day.